Just today, we got our first glimpse into how traffic will flow for the next 2 weeks on I-64. That shutdown began Friday on 64 West from the Watterson to Story Avenue, meaning that morning commute on I-71 just got longer. The Department of Highway says this is a necessary closure because there is a lot of work in that 6-mile stretch. From shoulder work to updates to the guardrails, the biggest project is going to be the Cochrane Hill tunnels. Crews will be digging up roughly 19 inches of concrete that make up the tunnel driving surface and replacing it with asphalt so the entire stretch is the same surface. The last time crews did this much work was in 2001.
So 22 years is the last time we did this. So people ask us again, why do you have to shut it down? We like to shut it down and get it done really well, last a long time, as opposed to every 3 to 5 years having to do minor maintenance and shut lanes down.
Westbound lanes of I-64 West are expected to be closed until June 16th, at which point the reverse will happen. Eastbound lanes will then close for those same repairs. And that one may be a bit easier because we're told there's less concrete they need to dig up inside the tunnel on the eastbound side. Well, for those of you who are traveling over to Indiana, the westbound lanes of 64 near the Sherman-Minton Bridge remain closed. If you're trying to get into Indiana, it's suggested you take I-65 north to 265. Some good news. They're expected to reopen tonight at 8. For all alerts on traffic hangups and a full list of detours, download that WHAS11 app for free. You can also go to WHAS11.com. We want to take a moment here at noon to give a huge thanks to all of you at home who participated in this year's WHAS Crusade for Children. In its 70th year, the Crusade raised a grand total of $6,232,176.70. That's the second highest total in the organization's history, just below the total from our 50th anniversary 20 years ago. That amounted to more than $211 million in the last 7 decades for kids with special needs, and you know 100% of it goes right back into our communities. There is nothing like it. Stevensburg Volunteer Fire Department led the way in Kentucky this year with $655,400 thanks to an extremely generous estate gift. The top Indiana Fire Department was Lafayette Township Fire with more than $100,000. Sam and I, we were both there. You were over in Cordon yesterday. Yeah. I was in Paristown. For your first crusade, what did you think?
I'm speechless. I mean, the amount of giving for such an amazing cause here across the area. You know, I was starstruck. I was lost for words. It's incredible how much money is donated, especially in these smaller communities in southern Indiana and Kentucky. So thank you so much for donating to Crusade for Children. It was sunny all Crusade weekend long, and well, today we're still picking up that sunshine. 79 currently at Ali International, right along the Ohio, and it is staying a little bit hazy outside. And I'll be talking about why it is hazy in just a moment. Here's our current temperatures, a little bit closer for the rest of the area. Cordon currently at 76, Bardstown cruising at 81. We are enjoying the middle 80s in Springfield. Lebanon also sitting at 80 degrees flat. We're going to be seeing nothing but sun through the course of the afternoon today. Notice there will be some times of haze, though, making for poor air quality outside. It's actually an orange color alert right now. What that generally means is those of you that are a part of sensitive groups that do have asthma, make sure you stay inside, ride it out on the safe side of things, and obviously, you know, refrain from mowing the lawn, and maybe just not even take an extra drive or two across town to kind of obviously chip away at some of the pollutants that are going to be in the atmosphere here. If you are a part of these asthma or sensitive groups, please make sure you do refrain from exercise today and stay inside. Brooke, I am talking about rain chances into midweek, which will be much deserved for Kentuckiana. Much more on that outlook coming up here in a few minutes.
All right, Sam, thanks so much. Right now, a campaign is starting to take over Jefferson Square Park against Kentucky's Attorney General Daniel Cameron. He's currently running for governor. Brianna Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, is spearheading the effort with the social justice group Until Freedom. Their goal is to raise awareness about Cameron's policy positions and what they consider his mishandling of the Brianna Taylor case. We'll have more coverage on this story, plus reaction from Cameron tonight beginning at 4 o'clock. Over the weekend, friends and family celebrated what would have been Brianna Taylor's 30th birthday. They gathered Saturday at Shawnee Park and marked that milestone with a memorial honoring Taylor and her lasting legacy.
You know, the impact that Brianna Taylor has had on the city of Louisville is unimaginable.
The way you balance the heartbreak of the incident and is that we get together to fellowship We have to be around each other. We all are feeling the sorrow and the loss of her not being here.
Taylor was killed in March of 2020 after LMPD officers executed a botched search warrant and shot her into her home. She was 26 at the time. In an effort to prevent gun violence in the city, Congressman Morgan McGarvey hosted a town hall Saturday to hear directly from you as the community. McGarvey has been an active proponent of gun reform since he took office in Washington. He hopes to gain more perspective on what his constituents would like to see in Congress.
There are people in our community who are still hurting from the mass shooting, who are still hurting from the everyday effects of gun violence. And I think, like me, are tired of the fact that we're not doing enough on a policy level that helps people out.
McGarvey has been calling for a ban on assault weapons, the addition of red flag laws, and universal background checks. A historic change at Churchill Downs racing is officially over for the season at the world-famous track following 12 recent horse deaths. Our Connor Steffen spoke to fans at Sunday's final race.
The signs said it all at Churchill Downs Sunday.
And the final clip, okay, for the first turn.
As fans watched on underneath the iconic twin spires for one last time this spring meet.
I've never been to a horse race. This is my very first time, and it was phenomenal.
But also a close call for the Goody family, visiting the Commonwealth from Iowa this week.
Because when we read about it, we wasn't sure if it'd even be open.
Churchill Downs announced a pause would be put in place on races this week in response to a wave of recent horse deaths on and near the track.
We didn't really know about it. I mean, we knew about, like, some of the tragedies that have gone on with the horses.
Since April, 12 horses have died. 11 of them were put down due to injuries. The rest of the spring meets races have been moved 130 plus miles west to another Churchill Downs zone venue.
All the races are moving to Ellis Park, and that's a long drive.
Yeah.
Get one more in before it closes
We
down.
might go to Ellis Park.
Husband and wife, Mark and Linda Frederick, have a unique perspective on the whole situation, since they've been coming out to the track for some 40 years now, back when they had just started dating.
Oh, I think they're taking all the appropriate actions. I think they were timely in what they did, and they're going to get to the bottom of it.
Churchill Downs CEO Bill Carstangen called the recent deaths deeply upsetting and absolutely unacceptable. At this time, no obvious or specific pattern has been determined in the deaths. Churchill's racetrack also has not been linked to the incidents.
I think they just haven't found it. They just haven't found it yet. They're going to find something different about the track compared to years past.
Churchill Downs also announced it will be implementing new safety measures at the track in collaboration with the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority. A spokesperson with HISA confirmed the regulating body will continue to investigate the unprecedented number of horse deaths, saying all options remain on the table. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, WHAS11 on your side.
Churchill Downs will finish its racing season at Ellis Park in Henderson, Kentucky. For several weeks, our Focus reporter John Charlton has been investigating these horse deaths at Churchill Downs. You can find his reports on tragedies at the track all week long here on WHAS 11 News at 6 p.m.